The tragic twist before the happy ending. Zico, a heart built from ashes. Modern-day Philippines. Zico was born on a rainy night in a slum in Manila, the seventh child of a struggling fisherman. His life was a patchwork of hunger, laughter, and endless prayers to a God he wasn't always sure was listening. At 23, Zico worked 3 jobs: mechanic by day, street vendor by night, and janitor during the graveyard shift. His dreams were too big for the tin roof above his head, but he clung to them fiercely. It was during one of his night shifts that he met her, Aluara. Aluara, with her worn-out sneakers and books pressed to her chest, was a university student fighting her own battles. She stopped by the 24-hour coffee shop near where Zico worked, always ordering the cheapest thing on the menu, always leaving a little smile behind her. They talked. Slowly at first, then like old friends who had found each other across 1,000 lifetimes. Zico fell, hard, helplessly, hopelessly. He wanted to tell her, to scream his love from every rooftop. But every time he looked at his cracked hands, his second-hand clothes, he swallowed the words. Not yet, he told himself. Not like this. She deserves more. He made a silent vow, he would build a future. Not just for himself, but for her, for his family, for everyone who had been told that dreams were not meant for people like them. Zico threw himself into work harder than ever. He started a small online motorcycle parts business, borrowing money, sleeping 2 hours a night, battling failures that would have crushed a weaker man. Finally, after years of brutal effort, the breakthrough came. A viral marketing video. A wave of orders. Investment offers. Suddenly, Zico wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. He bought a house for his mother. Paid for his siblings' schooling. Created jobs for dozens of young men who once stood on the same street corners he had. But when he rushed back to find Aluara, he was too late. A car accident. A rainy night. An unlit road. She was gone, her bright spirit extinguished before he could even tell her he loved her. Zico shattered. For weeks, he disappeared from the world. Locked himself away. He had fought for so long, built so much, and now the one thing he truly wanted was beyond his reach forever. But then he found a letter. Left behind in an old library book they had once shared. Written in her soft, looping handwriting. Dear Zico, if you're reading this, maybe you've already built your dream. Know this, you were enough, even when you had nothing. You didn't have to become rich for me to love you. But if you do become rich, promise me you'll still dance in the rain. Promise me you'll still love with your whole heart. Promise me you'll live. Tears blurred the words. Zico cried like he hadn't cried since he was a boy. Then he stood up. He expanded his company, turning it into a social enterprise. He built free libraries in Aluara's name, schools for girls who dared to dream, scholarships for the poor. Every life he touched became part of her legacy. Years later, standing on a stage receiving an award for humanitarian work, Zico looked up at the sky and smiled through tears. He had kept his promises. He had loved. He had lived. And somewhere, in some better world, he believed Aluara was dancing in the rain, proud of him.